guys, this is JB3 and we are back with our brand new series here in FIFA 20 with FC Cincinnati Project Rebuild. So what we're going to do here as we wait for career mode to be updated in FIFA 20 so we can do our youth edition series is we're going to do a little bit of a rebuild here with FC Cincinnati. We've actually simmed through, as you can see, all the way down to November 2019, which will be the end of the season. So obviously the MLS starts at a little bit of an odd time as far as the FIFA cycle here in EA Sports. So we wanted to try and build this team up to maybe what everyone thought they were going to do. You know, everyone thought maybe they had a chance at the playoffs. You can see we actually did make the playoffs through the sim, which is unbelievably realistic. Currently, they're on minus 44 on goal differential and sit dead bottom in the MLS. So the worst team in the MLS. They came in with their first season. So we're going to try and maybe rebuild them, see if we can get a team put together and see if we can make the playoffs. That will be the goal here as we try and rebuild. But we're going to try and do it realistically. We don't want to go in there and, go out and, obviously some of the MLS teams, they bring in Zlatan. We got Beckham bringing in someone here next year. I can't remember who it is from Man City, but really splashing it around. Obviously, you got Wayne Rooney, who's with DC United, but FC Cincinnati, they can't do that. They're building a brand new stadium. They can't really spend a ton of money, so we're gonna try and maybe only spend 2 million-ish, maybe a little bit more than that. Probably maybe right around that $4 million mark. I want to make it realistic, but I also want to have some fun with this. So we're going to try and sell some players on. So let's get into this. We'll take a look at what the current roster looks like here at the end of FC Cincinnati's first season in the MLS. So as it sits right now, Fernando Adi is up top. We will get rid of him as fast as humanly possible. Probably the biggest earner on the team currently, and in real life didn't even play. I mean, got into some off-field troubles and then just never really got going. Didn't even really play probably the second half of the season. We do have Darren Maddox, who is a real good player out of Costa Rica, a good cam role, maybe that striker that we can put up top there. We do have Lamar, who's a very talented player, but getting on in age, 31 years old. And then I can't even pronounce his name, even if I wanted to. I believe it's Joe Zhao. I believe he just came into the team about halfway through the season once Ron Jans took over as manager. We have Victor Ulloa and then Bertone, who will sit in the middle. We also have Greg Garza, obviously injury prone, had a big injury this year and never really got into the team until the end of it, but a real big difference maker. We also have Waston, who sits at the back as the captain, and then Van der Werf and Powell, who sits at right back, which we might actually try and play him out on the wing. He's just such a poor defender, and all he wants to do is score goals, so we'll probably let him here. And then we have Titan, who will take over the goalkeeping role. We'll also take a look at the bench here. It's Cruz, who is in there, another talented player as well. And then we have Etienne, who I believe is on loan, so he'll probably end up leaving. We have the first overall pick in the MLS draft from last year, Amaya. And then we have Deplan, Haglin, and Mane will actually be leaving the club. They wanted to leave, and unfortunately we'll lose him on a release clause. And then we have Ledesma as well. And then a lot of these players are going to end up leaving. I'd like to keep Gutman. He's really come in as a lone player from Celtic and really done a really good job. He's an exciting player. And then Daly's also an exciting player too. Big body striker, 6 foot, big powerful player up top, and really might be one for the future. He's never going to be great, but he could hold his own in the MLS. And then we'll see as some of these players, Spencer Ritchie, who we may get rid of, and then Jimmy Mclaughlin as well. So we'll get into this one. We'll see what we can do as far as getting some transfers done, earn some money, and then maybe bring in some exciting players here to the FC Cincinnati side. So Nick Haglin has been sold, so he will leave for $640,000. That adds $450 to our transfer budget. So we do have an offer for Alvis Powell, and he is a pretty decent player, but to go to Red Bull Salzburg, a decent player here. We'll delegate it out, see if we can gain some extra money, and see if we can get Alvis Powell out of the club. So as we look to bolster our roster, Julian Green, the young American overseas, will, I think it's realistic that maybe he makes a move back to the MLS. So we do have a limit in the MLS of 8 players that we can bring in from international. So he's actually out of contract at the end of the year. So in just a couple weeks, as we get into January, he will be a free agent. So we'll approach to sign and see if we can get him in. So Ron Jans comes in and we'll meet with Julian Green and see if we can get a move done here for him. 69 overall, always had a lot of promise. A decent player here in the U.S. men's national team. He wants an important role, and I think that's probably fair. So we'll get a 3-year deal done for him. And then we'll move on. We'll disregard the release clause. Current wage is $4,000, so you'd think you'd probably want a little bit more being an important player. So we'll go $6,000. And you know what? A decent bit of money if we can give him a signing bonus as well. And we'll get that done. Let's see what he says. Hopefully that doesn't just walk out on us. And that's a fair offer. We get our first deal done on a free. Julian Green joining the team. So Powell has been sold and we'll add $900,000 to the transfer budget. We also lose Derek Etienne back to New York Red Bulls, and we lose Andrew Gutman, who we will try and go in and sign on a full contract as opposed to a loan, but he will return for the time being to Celtic. So we will send out a scout here into the U.S. just to try and find some homegrown players, so we'll see what he brings back here in the next couple months. So one player we will take a look at is Bobby Wood. There is interest shown in him currently, so we will try and go in for him. He's always been kind of rumored to maybe take a look at the MLS to see if maybe that might be better for his career, as he kind of floats around in, Bundesliga 2, not really getting a lot of playing time. So we will go in and see if we can get a deal done for Bobby Wood. So they do have a transfer offer of $2.9 million, and they have him evaluated at 3.3. So just in an effort to try and get this done, we'll go big and go 3.3. After the transfers and the release clause paid for Mane, we are at $2.7 million. So we'll dip into that transfer budget a little bit to see if we can get some deals done, and it looks like a fair offer, so we'll bring him into the club. So we have a transfer offer for Corbin Bone, and we will try and get rid of him for $20. Seems like a fair offer. We'll see if we can get a little extra cash for him here. So we have a transfer offer for Caleb Stenko. We will delegate that and see if we can get him a move out of the club. So we have a transfer offer for Spencer Ritchie, so we will delegate that. We could keep him. So I think what we'll do is we'll actually go a little bit higher and maybe see if we can get a big chunk of money, see if maybe that can help us bring in some players here in the future. So we have a transfer offer for Kendall Waston, who is the captain of the team, but we will try and get a bit of a move for him. It will free up an international spot, and it will also, he's just getting up there in age. He is god-awfully slow and, pulls a yellow card in just about every game. So I think we can do a little bit better for him, maybe get a younger player, so we will try and make a move here for Kendall Waston. So we also, So we have a transfer offer for our third goalkeeper and $50,000. Let's just see if we can get him out. So we have a transfer offer for Jimmy Mclaughlin. We will try and move him out as well. We're going to accept this because delegating seems like it's taking a long time, and we're just running out of time here in the transfer window. So we do have a transfer offer for Corbin Bone, and it's for $310,000, adding $220 to our transfer budget. So we have a transfer offer for Duplan, and we will try and move him out, frees up another international spot as well. So we have another transfer offer for Spencer Ritchie, $600,000. So Caleb Stanko has been sold for $470,000, and Jimmy Hague has also been sold $50,000, adding basically nothing, and Jimmy Mclaughlin will see out for $230,000 as well. So we have a transfer for Fernando Adi, and we will try and get him out $1.5 million. We'll see if we can just get him off the books. So we will end up having to spend a little bit of money because for whatever reason, the transfers this year are just taking absolutely forever. I mean, we have probably 6 or 5 guys, just no response from the team yet. So we will go in for Lyndon Gooch. He is a player at Sunderland, US born. So, you know, he's been over there his entire career and he's always kind of just fluttered. He's always been, you know, kind of hot and cold. So we'll try and bring him in, see if he can get a new start here in the MLS. So we have signed Lyndon Gooch for $1.4 million. So we will try and get a contract done here with him. And we have a 4-year contract. We'll disregard the release clause, low budget value. So we'll bring him in and get a deal done. So we will take a look at Glenn Biel, and we'll actually look at maybe just try and get a loan on him. We want to kind of keep it realistic. Obviously, Ron Jans is the manager. We also have a GM from the Netherlands, so, you know, big Netherlands influence. So we'll try and bring in Biel here, or Glenn Biel. Yeah, that's what I'll go with. Yeah, either way. Good, you know, a good player, could play right back or could also play in the midfield. So we'll see if we can get maybe a loan. Yeah, we'll get a loan done. You know, we're $1.2 million into our budget, so we'll see if we can get a loan done here for him. Never mind. So we will approach Gutman for a transfer offer for, you know, it's a loan to buy. He's probably gonna stay at FC Cincinnati, so we'll try and bring him back to the club. So for probably our final offer, we will try and go in and we'll spend a little bit of money. It will put us in a hole, but if we can make some of these sales here before the end of the season, we'll still make out and not really touch that transfer budget too much. Is Fortuna Alvarado, who is currently in Liga MX. We will see if we can get a deal done, bring him in and solidify our back line. So we will take a look. We got him on a release clause of $1.7 million, so we'll see if we can get a deal done for him here. He'll obviously play an important role with us. 3-year contract, get him all the way down to his age 30. We're fine with a little bit of a release clause. If we can get money, that much money for him, that will definitely help our transfers here in the future. And now the all-important wage budget. So we'll go, you know, we got a little bit of extra money, so let's go with the 9.5, and, you know, maybe a little bit of a signing bonus and see if we can get a deal done and get another center back into the team. And we do. He's into the squad. So we are looking to make one just final change. We've spent so far $3 million on a net. So I don't think that's unrealistic, especially if we can sell a Fernando Adi. We're right back to that $2 million. So we need another right back. We're going to go with the young Dutchman here in Glenn Biel, I believe. Obviously a big Netherlands influence here on the team. Obviously the managers from the Netherlands and then also the GM. So let's see if we can get a deal done. So obviously we saw the evaluation, so we'll go 1.3, see if we can bring him in. Big upside here with the player, 69 years of age already, and that's a fair offer. We'll get him in. So the transfer window is closed, and unfortunately we weren't able to get as much business done as we wanted to, just because of the way the thing, I mean, just as soon as you hit delegate, it added about 3 weeks to the negotiation. So not able to get as much done, but we will have Bobby Wood and Darren Maddox up top. We'll have Julian Green in the cam with Zhou Zhao on the left, Victor Ulloa in the middle, and then Gooch on the right. It will be Alvarado on the right back. We'll have Vanderwerf at the center back. Waston will stay in until we can maybe get rid of him, and then Greg Garza at the left with Titon in net. We'll have Cruz on the bench with Gutman, Amaya, Bertone, We'll have Ledesma, Dali, and Lamar fallen off now, all the way down to a 67, but 32 years of age. Probably can maybe see him out. And then Biel, who we just brought in, picked up a training injury, so he'll be out for a little bit as well. But a decent lineup. We got some decent players in. Happy with the amount of business done. We didn't spend a ton of money, but we are right around just under $3 million net spend. So we got some players we can still get rid of and maybe add to the transfer budget. We'll have the youth academy come in, but we'll get this season started here on the first opportunity to rebuild FC Cincinnati. So before we get into our first game, we have brought in one player to our youth academy in Lucas Williams, 64 overall, 71 to 94 potential, a 6'2 center mid. Should be one for the future. We'll hold on to him though. Maybe wait until we get a little bit further into the season before we bring him into the team. Well, since the transfer window is closed and we didn't get as much business as we got done or we wanted to do, we have gotten rid of 3 players, or we will get rid of 3 players come July. It's Fernando Adi, $1.3 million. It's Deplan for $680,000 and Kendall Lawson for $1.75. It brings our total net spend down to about $500,000. So Iran Jans does open up the season. We will be against Atlanta United, one of the best teams here in the MLS. So we'll take a look. What's your playoff plans? We are ready for a fight. I'll go with fancier chances. I think we got enough talent to get in there. Realistically, Alvarado acquisition from Necaxa. Fans are eagerly waiting to see him graceful. He'll prove he's the right man. I believe that's right, especially when we get rid of Waston. I think he'll really become a great player for the team. So we'll help his morale. Oh, and my favorite little boy, Lyndon Gooch from Sunderland. They say I don't know what they say. They better say he's great. He will be good for the team. I think we'll go with that. Help his morale up. And I believe that's all we'll need. We'll get into the game now. So we'll start this one on the road, and we know the starting lineup, so let's get into this one and see how we can fare against one of the best teams here in Atlanta United. And we'll get this season underway. Oh, Maddox, a nice breakup. Gets it to Bobby Wood, gets it right back to Maddox, and he's charging forward, trying to put pressure on the back line. Has it to Wood. He'll hold. Tries to get it. Oh, can't get it in. Loose ball. Takes the shot. Oh, knocked away by Guzman. Maddox chases it down. Oh, but they're going to call him offsides with his second chance to put one in. Green moves it up here to Victor Roella. Has it to Zhao. Zhao on to Garza. Garza opens it up with a shot. Oh, and flops. What animation was that? A big swing and the miss, and I just need to see this again as Garza puts it in and then taken out, falls on the ground for a corner. Zhao the one to take it. Has a chance here. Puts it into the middle. Looking for it. Punched away. Has Maddox though and knocks it down. Has Kendall Lawson. Good pass. Finds Uoa. Drops it in for Gooch. Takes a shot right off Brad Guzan and knocked away as FC Cincinnati putting heavy pressure on here against Atlanta United. Oh, gets behind us here. They're in with a chance, and just like that, it is 1-0 Atlanta United. Waston, this is the reason we were really trying to get rid of him. He is unbelievably slow, and they take advantage of it. Get behind. Nice little pass, and just can't get back quick enough. 1-0 as they beat Teton. Oh, Waston beat again on the inside. Teton, a big save, knocks it away for a corner. Vanderwerf sends it out wide. Alvarado up to Gooch. Has it in here for Maddox. Maddox moves along to Bobby Wood. Good chance here. Beats another man. One-on-one. Puts it in the back of the net for an opening goal for FC Cincinnati. 1-1. Bobby Wood comes home and puts it in the back of the net. Wasn't getting the playing time he wanted over in Bundesliga, and he has it in there. A nice touch, beats one man, gets around another, gets one-on-one with Guzan, and puts it in the bottom corner. Final minutes, final build-up here. Atlanta United driving in, looking for it, get behind Waston, a big tackle, just gets the ball in Teton, grabs the ball, boots it long, and gets us into halftime, all even at 1 here with FC Cincinnati. Atlanta United drive forward, pull one back, off to Nagby. We trying to get in there with a tackle and can't. Green struggling to get a foot in. Has a chance behind us. Teton can't make the save. And Vasquez puts it home for another goal, 2-1. Just weren't able to break it up. Julian Green fighting all the way back here to help on defense, but Atlanta United put another one past, and you knew goalkeeping was going to be our problem. We had a decent defensive line, and they tried to get back, but couldn't do it in time. Oh, a nice pass, finds the middle, has a chance, Maddox. Maddox drops it off to Frankie Amaya, drives in, pulls the trigger, and into the back of the net, ties it at 2. The former #1 overall draft pick in the Super Draft finds the net here, and it's 1-0, or not 1-0, not even close to 1-0. It's 2-2. Frankie Amaya putting in his first goal here with FC Cincinnati for the season. Oh, they're on the counter here. Driving forward is Atlanta United. Zhao tries to get back, can't get there. Teton, a big save. Second chance goes into the side netting. And the pressure's relieved for FC Cincinnati. Gutman, cross in. Waston knocks away, but right back to the top. Another chance. Can we get out and block it? No, from range. 3-2. And it looks like maybe the defensive help has not been improved enough here for FC Cincinnati as they go down 3-2 now against Atlanta United. Aya lays it off, has Gooch. Gooch out wide now, has Gutman. Gutman driving in. Can he get around a slide tackle? He does. Has a chance. Lofts it up. Has a chance in the middle. Gooch takes a digger into the ground. Oh, and had way more time than he thought as Amaya picks up the yellow card and had a chance to tie one there. Amaya, wide to Garza. He's going to get forward. Tries to create some offense here. Has it. Off to Zhao. Zhao goes into Wood. Wood drops it off. Has Amaya. Amaya drives on. Long-range shot gets deflected. Maddox, though, moves it right back to Gooch. He's on into the box. Looking for some space. Centers it. Amaya. Turn, shoot right on Guzan, and that will do it as we end the first game 3-2. Atlanta United take the victory as the defense still just struggling to kind of put it together, but you know, we had a lot of changes at the back line. Hopefully that will come in time. We'll take a look at it. It's 10 shots, 7 on target, 9-7 though for FC Cincinnati. Not a bad debut. Darren Maddox a 9.0, Bobby Wood 8.3, Julian Green 6.3, Alvarado a 6.8, Uo a 6.8 as well, Teton a 6.9, Gutman a 6.6, Vanderwerf 7.2, Watson 7.6, Garza 6.5, Gooch a 7.5, Bertone 6.1, Zhao a 6.9, Amaya 7.6, and that will do it as we go down 3-2. So that'll do it for us here in this one. And, you know, obviously just the one game in this one, just trying to kind of get the team put together and try and really rebuild this team, maybe see them into some greatness here in the season. We'll see how it is. I mean, definitely some good things happening here at FC Cincinnati. But that'll do it for us here in this one. If you did enjoy it, make sure to hit the subscribe button, turn on notifications so you can always find out when the newest episodes are coming out. And until next time, have a good one.